All right, so here we are. This is a simple walkthrough to replacing the steering sector plate, gear, and bushings for a John Deere L130 lawn tractor. So I did this earlier today, so I'm just going to be showing you how to do this because I am already clean now. Showing you how to do this on the expanded view. Because I ran into a lot of hiccups in my process because I didn't know how to do this, and now that I know some little tricks, I would like to share those with other people, of course. So first of all, of course, what you'll want to do is purchase your new steering sector plate, gear, and bushings, and you will get 2 bushings. This expanded view is misleading in that it only shows 1 bushing, but you will be using 2 bushings on that. Once you get that, take your lawn tractor, put it on a nice flat surface. You can jack it up if you like to. It was easier for me to have it lifted up off the ground. If you do jack it up, place your tires on blocks and then take your jack away so that it's not resting on 1 point, it's resting on 2 points. Make sure, of course, you put your brake on. You can work with it without lifting it up and putting it on blocks, but you end up with I ended up with a little less room, so it was easier for me to lift it up. So once you've got it however you like it, up in the air or down on the ground, make sure that you drop your mowing deck all the way to the ground. I left mine up until halfway through the process, and I had very little room for my hands to reach in there and do things until I realized, duh, I can drop the deck. So once you drop the deck, it's a pretty straightforward situation. You start off at 1 point, work through till you get everything off, and then you basically reverse the process with a couple of changes, of course, because you might have different components such as I did. So first you're going to want to crawl up underneath it and remove the nut for the steering sector gear, which is number 16 on our expanded view here. You may have to have someone hold the steering wheel for you. I did, because the gear and the sector plate were so loose against each other, it just moved. I needed someone to hold the steering wheel in place till I could loosen up the nut. Once you remove the nut, it's pretty easy from there. You just slide the steering sector gear, which is 21 on our expanded diagram here, off. You may have to pry it off with a flathead screwdriver or a little pry bar of some sort. They are pretty tight on the shaft. So that's the first step's fairly easy. Remove the screw, take off the steering sector gear there. And then you'll want to take the steering shaft, because you'll be able to. You can just pull it up. You won't be able to take it all the way out because there is this little nub on the shaft that will not allow you to pull it all the way out. So you'll pull it out from the slots until you get it inside the frame, and then kind of swing it aside and rest it inside the frame. And it's out of your way at that point. The next thing you're going to want to do is start working on removing the steering sector plate here, which is number 22 on our diagram. To do that, what you'll want to do, because it'll be attached to this metal plate that's on the frame, number 20 here, this metal plate. This metal plate is held in place by 4 screws. It only shows 2 on the diagram here, but there are 4 screws. These number 19s. You'll want to remove all 4 of those, and then this whole metal plate with the steering sector attached will drop down. It'll give you a lot more room to work with your tools up underneath there. So then the first thing you're going to want to do after you drop that plate is remove the nuts, the 2 nuts, number 28 here on the diagram, that hold the steering sector plate in place here and here. So you'll pop those off. They have, make sure that you keep the bushings and the washers that are there as well. Set them to the side, and this plate will drop down off from this plate, so it's free and loose from that. And then you'll want to remove the tire rods from that. You don't remove the tire rods, well, if you can, good luck to you. But the nuts for the tire rods go in these little slots right here. And they are very, very difficult to reach with your tools while the steering sector plate is still attached to the plate, the metal plate there. So then it's pretty easy. Once you drop the steering sector plate down off that plate, you can remove these fairly easily. Take those off, and then you have freed your old and probably ruined sector plate from the machine, and you can do with that what you will. Use it for target practice, throw it in the trash can, make art from it. I don't care at that point. The next thing you're going to want to do is pull out the old bushings, which are number 13 here on this diagram. Now don't be fooled by this diagram. This diagram only shows one bushing here, and these are metal bushings. You probably got a nylon replacement bushing or 2 nylon replacement bushings, but these are metal bushings. There are 2 of them, so there's one attached to this metal plate here that you drop down, and then when this is attached to the frame of the lawnmower, about 3 or 4 inches above that, there is a piece of the frame that goes across, and there's another bushing in that slot, so you'll have to replace both of those. To pull them off, you're going to have to pop off. If you're like me and you haven't replaced them yet, you have metal bushings in place. The metal bushings have a little metal clip, number 12 on our diagram here, that you'll have to pop off. Now that was kind of a booger to get off because it was a tight spot to work with, and you'll have to get a flathead screwdriver or some other form of tool and just kind of work that off. Once you pop these 2 clips off, however, the bushings will just slide right out of the slots that they're in. This one that goes onto this plate, it'll be on the bottom, it faces up. The one that's attached to the frame, it will be facing down. So you make sure that you put them back in the way that you pulled out the old ones. So that's you've removed all of the old pieces now. The new pieces, you'll pull out your new pieces, and we're just basically going to do this in reverse. You'll first, of course, put the new bushings in. So if you couldn't find the metal bushings, like I could, and I could only get nylon bushings, the nylon bushings are a different shape. They don't slide in simply like this does and be held in place by the clip. So you won't even need the clip anymore. The clip will be unnecessary with the nylon bushings. But the nylon bushings do have kind of a different shape to them. They have some wings that pop out, or that stick out on the sides. And you won't be able to, you probably won't, unless you are, basically Superman, you won't be able to push those things into place, because that nylon's a very sturdy, rigid material. So what you're going to want to do, you can slide them into the slots partially until they kind of hold in place. You won't be able to lock them in all the way, but what you'll want to do at that point is take a small hammer and just on this one right here, pop it up. Just gently tap it. It didn't take much effort, but I couldn't do it by my hands. But a little hammer just tapped them right into place. Tap up on that one. You'll tap down on the ones that's on the frame itself within. Once those are in, they're good to go. You don't need to worry about clips at that point. Let's see. Then next, we're going to reattach the tire rods here to the brand new sector plate that you have at your points there and there. Now when you do that, this was a little one of those little things that I did and realized I did it wrong, and I had to take it back apart and put it together again. You'll want to make sure that this sector plate sits above the lawnmower belt that's down underneath your lawnmower. It's easy enough because these rest down pretty low underneath the belt. It's really easy to put this on there and then realize when you try to lift it up to attach it to the plate that you have to take it back off and put it above the belt. So make sure it's above the belt when you put these 2 tire rods back on. After you put the tire rods back on, then you just reattach these bolts for the sector plate, number 28 here. Make sure, of course, they have your bushings and everything else on there, to the 2 points here and here. Once that's attached, you need to reattach this metal plate here, number 20 on our diagram. So that, there was a little trick to this as well. The side that does not have the accelerator pedal on it is pretty easy. You lift it up, you put the 2 screws in there. You might want to wait to tighten them down till you get the other side in place, but you get them in place so you can match the holes up pretty easily on the plate and the frame. The other side, the holes on the plate and the frame don't want to match up until you lift up on the accelerator pedal. So you kind of have to pick up the accelerator pedal, and then these holes will match up with the holes on the frame, and then you can screw them in place. Tighten those down, your sector plate and your tire rods are back in place. Then we take the steering shaft here and we put it back in through the 2 new bushings that we just installed. Make sure that your steering wheel is turned in the right direction, or if you have a particular direction you like it turned in. I like to have mine where I can see the John Deere symbol face up, but that's just me. It works anyway, no matter what. Once it's down on there, you take your brand new steering sector gear, number 21 here, and you slide it up onto the base of the steering shaft. Now you may have to take a little hammer and tap that up because they are fairly tight and they don't always like to fit in. You'll also have to make sure that the gears on the gear here mesh up with the teeth on the steering sector plate. You'll want to make sure you might have to twist it around a little bit till they fit in place, but they do easily. Then of course you put the number 16 nut back and tighten that back down on there, and basically you're done. Just take it off the blocks, you put it up on blocks, and start her up and drive her around. So good luck with that for any future purposes. I could not find any other reference for this online, so that's why I'm doing this, to make things easier for myself in the future, and hopefully I might help someone else out as well. Thanks, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.